Hey guys, how you going? So another week here on the homestead over and done with. We've had a week of ups and downs. I've been away helping my next door neighbour. He's building a toilet out the back in his mother-in-law's house. So they got me around to go and help with that. So I was out off the homestead for a couple of days. We've also taken the puppies down to the vets for their second round of inoculations. Only one more round to go for them. That'll be at the start of August. But back here on the homestead, we actually had a massive storm come through. It was only about half an hour, maybe an hour tops. We just had a torrential amount of rain. About this much rain fell in about 45 minutes. And then the wind came through as well, and it basically knocked all of my corn and a lot of the sunflowers over. So I had to go out, and I was up to my shins in mud, slipping around and just putting stakes in to hold the corn up mostly. But I'll show you what's happened and what I've done to fix that. And yeah, so I've also done some garlic braiding as well, which I'll show you next, and then I'll take you through and we'll have some puppies at the end. But whatever you guys have been up to, I hope you've been having a fantastic time, and I will of course talk to you next week. Have a good one. Hey guys, so what I'm doing here, I'm just cleaning up the garlic bulbs. I've got a big batch of them just off the screen. We're just clipping off all the roots. As you can see, they're going on the bottom pile there, and all of the little scraggly bits just from the top getting trimmed off, just ready to plat some garlic. And as you can see, the bulbs that come out are very clean, even though they were covered in mud and left to dry. The garlic's now been resting for about 3 weeks. You should be able to do this after 2 weeks. As you can see, most of the green has gone from all the leaves. Okay, so we're going to start braiding now. What we do is we're going to take 3 pieces of garlic, and in a traditional garlic braid, you don't actually need to join these together. You just start braiding and they'll naturally sit together. But a really good way to stop the braid undoing, so that you can use the garlic from the bottom upwards, which I find is just more natural. As you can see, just put a cable tie around it, put them together as tight as you can, and then pull that as tight as you can. And then if you do want to work from the bottom up, that cable tie will actually hold the rest of the braid in place. Just trim off the excess plastic. I've actually used a hard stem garlic for the bottom piece of garlic. That's the one in the middle at the moment. So each braid, what we're going to do is take one extra bulb, lay it on top, and then move the right hand side one into the middle. And we're going to take another piece of garlic, lay that on top of the middle, and this time we're going to move the left hand one into the middle. Now that one's in the middle, we get one more piece of garlic, add it to the pile in the middle, and then right hand over the middle. Of course, anyone who knows how to braid, this is just a braiding. It's very easy to replicate, and as you can see, the results are pretty standard garlic braid, the plaits, whatever you want to call them. Just going to speed it up through here. As you can see, the leaves get very bulky, but leave all of them in. When you can tidy it up right at the end, and it does provide extra strength to the braid. So we're just adding in the last few bits of garlic, and then right at the top, what we're going to do is get one more cable tie and pull that as tight as you absolutely can. Trim off the top, clean everything up, and there's your braid of garlic. So that's what the back side of it looks like. As you can see, nice and neat. This is how I hang them. So I've put in yet another cable tie and a cable tie loop, and here's it hanging up. The new one's on the right. Okay, so we had a huge rainstorm come through. As I said, it only lasted about half an hour to 45 minutes. Came out of nowhere, bright sunny day, and then just this amount of rain. And as I said, it liquefied all of the ground, and so all of that corn, both the left and right, got blown over in the end, pretty badly. Anyway, rainstorm. Well guys, of course after that rainstorm, as you can see, some of the corn is still lying not quite straight. This is after it's dried out. I did have to prop up all of the corn using some old cherry branches. Just build a load of A-frames in between it. Some of it, as you can see, is recovered perfectly well and is all spaced out again. But it had all fallen down all over all of this melon patch. We've got some nice little melons.
Quite a few of them on here. These will all go to chickens. It's a very sweet melon though. This is the corn patch in the main field, in the bigger field. A little bit of damage there, but in general, all of this stuff survived. The ground here is not mud brick, so it didn't liquefy quite so much. As you can see, the sunflowers took quite a battering. The ones on the outside definitely suffered quite a bit, but they are starting to droop now. Anyway, as you can see, the top ones are turned over, so a week or two, and we'll be harvesting those. So all these outside petals, once they fall off, once they shrivel up, then we can start harvesting the sunflowers. Mooncake came out to see us. He was just crawling through the sunflowers. So this squash plant really is starting to take over. Now there's only 4 original plants in here, but as you can see, the vines are growing very aggressively. Um, we've actually got some fruit over here. So I've been burying the outer vines to aid with rooting. As you can see, just these round bulbs on the end underneath the flowers. Those are the female flowers, and you can just see the fruit just there. They're going to be opening up soon and getting pollinated, and we should have a very good pumpkin crop out of this squash patch here. So this just happened to sit like that. Very cute puppies. And of course, my first tomatoes. I haven't really bothered growing tomatoes before. They're so cheap at the shops and so hard to grow that I haven't really bothered with them. Now these are the grapevines, and I cut these down to the ground, but they seem to have grown back very vigorously. I will be cutting those down again, and then next year I'll build a structure for them to climb onto. Hopefully they'll survive. Now this, although it looks like a green dot, very exciting. This is my first ever ginger sprout, and it's right next to the chilies. We've got more chilies on there this week, and these plants getting, well, they've doubled in size in a week, as you can see. This sunflower doing very, very well. And just on here, there's a little bee, and he is completely covered in pollen. As you can see, as he cools around, he just gets more and more yellow. A great little visual representation of why these things pollinate. As you can see, he's as yellow as the sunflower is. So this is Tato. Her ears are very big. She doesn't have the typical husky ears, but they are starting to get pointy, and they keep folding backwards, and she can't get them to fold forwards. So it looks adorable, but yeah, she runs around with her ears back a lot of the time. But yeah, very cute little puppy. Got some nice pictures of the puppies now. As you can see, looking very cute. This is every time I go out of a gate, they'll come and run up to the gate. So as I said earlier, I've been helping my neighbour build the toilet. That's the actual toilet structure that we've been building. So Pigsy and Buttons and Chonkers with one funny eye. Tato with the ear hanging out, and Luna's come over to say hello as well. Right guys, have a good one. See you later. Bye.